like, because I remember this, but if we had lost to Green Bay, would we be pick 8 or 9? So I remember.
I
think it
think
mattered.
the only movement was with the Saints, dude.
Okay, so pick 9.
Yeah, from
so
what I remember, I don't think it mattered.
I don't know. We've been seeing a lot of these mock drafts, and frankly, I've seen some nightmare ones pop up lately that seem like the most realistic one, and it would fucking suck if we got stuck at pick 10 with like everybody taken. But yeah, same thing. Like we could have done all these mock drafts week to week to week, but they've changed so much that I'm kind of glad we didn't, and everything's just kind of like speculative. And yeah, that was going to be one of my questions for you guys is like, how are we approaching this mock? Are we doing what we think is going to happen or what they should do? Because I feel like.
Well, let me, if I could answer that, I would love to.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that to not have it skewed for the Bears, even subconsciously, we should, when we're on the clock as the general manager, we should operate as the general manager of that football team. So the Patriots, best player, no ifs, ands, or buts, no bullshit. Made up scenario where Abdul Carter falls to 7 and we have the ability to trade up for Abdul Carter. Nothing stupid like that, right?
Yeah.
Like what you should do.
But then my follow up with that is, okay, so what a smart GM would do, or what that team's actual GM may do.
Exactly. That was going to be my next question because I'm picking the Patriots pick is going to be very different from a Jaguars pick.
I guess we need to draw that line in the sand right now, right?
Yeah,
I think it would be. I think it would be best if we operated as that team's general manager.
I think let's go with this. The overall goal is to have it match what actually happens, right? At the end of the day,
what I
don't
mean.
we want
I
our
want to
mock
see.
to actually?
You would hope the teams do what they want to do for the best interest, right? No trading Luka to the Lakers bullshit. Like, actually, this is what we should do, right?
Yeah.
So
this is what I think this team will do.
Because they should do the correct thing. Unless you're calling them stupid. Like, if the Jets take Tyler Shaw, I'm not surprised. I think they could do that.
I think there's just, like, in my head, there's a universe where the Jaguars just got Liam Cohen, and Liam Cohen's like, I need a fucking weapon or some shit. Give me, Tyler Warren at 5.
I mean, how about this? I don't know. A 3-man panel. Should we try and come to some sort of like majority conclusion? If Dave's on the clock, if Dave is on the clock and says, "Hey, I think that Liam Conehead is a moron, so he's going to overdraft a tight end." Is it up to me and Paul in the war room with him to corroborate that? Should we fight back? No.
So we'll all put in our input, and we'll take turns at having the final say. So I'll start with one.
Sorry, Paul, you're going to have to repeat yourself. I was reading chat. Deharius Beargooch says, y'all got the face for podcasting and the personality for porn. So I kind of was like startled like that.
Well, I mean, I do video, so.
Yeah, after your conversation with Tooch.
No,
I'm a producer.
So, for example, with pick one, I have experience, guys. I am for hire. No. So, hey, I need money. Don't look like that, Carl. Yeah, recording porn. That's what I'm talking about, right? No,
he'll be the fluffer.
No, I'm just kidding, guys.
Do those videos are they going to be subject to copyright strikes? I'm sorry, I had to.
Depends on the outro I use.
Depends, like the diaper brand. I'm done. That's it. That's the final one.
Pro
You said it, not me. You said it.
I'm out of here.
Damn near killed him.
So the way I think it should work is, for example, with pick one, I'll get the ultimate say. So we'll go, okay, this is who we think they're all taking. But at the end of the day, I'll say, okay, yes. So if there is disagreement, whoever turn it is can trump the other two and go with what they think.
So at the end of the day,
David will get
we're operating as the general manager. You are the general manager when you're on the clock, and you have the final say. Yes?
And the other two will be the assistant GMs.
And so we can help persuade them.
Yes, we can try and make the case.
Here
but
is
at the end
where
of the day, the one person has the ultimate say in what that pick will be.
Here's where I wanted to throw a wrench in all of that. if we're operating as the general managers, my idea was maybe we could facilitate trades. And I know how convoluted it is. If Oscar Guillen was here, he'd tell me I'd lose credibility over this. We don't have to utilize the Rich Hill trade value chart, right? Oh, if you're going to move up to pick 4, you got to give up 10 and 39, all this shit, right? Don't care about that. Just a simple, they'll make the move, the trade. We can make that happen very easy on the simulator. And don't worry about the specifics. We could do that if you wanted to.
Well, how about this?
Can we operate from the ultimate goal of being correct on Thursday?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
seeing,
I like it.
seeing
Yeah, I like
the
it.
name. Like, can we just
Yeah.
operate under the thing
I like
that
it.
like,
Yep.
your pick? If you're making some crazy ass pick, you're gonna look like the dumbass because
Yep.
it's just not gonna match up to the.
Well, I'm not a dumbass, but yeah, totally.
I just got a question for
I'm
you
just,
guys.
I'm just kidding.
Just straight up cutthroat. Bears get stuck at pick 10. Who do we wind up with? Just give me a name. Just for fucking.
Kelvin Banks, or you'd trade.
Well, no,
So-
no, you can't trade.
I never got a chance to
Stuck at
say
10.
this.
Oh, okay.
Do you see this
Kelvin
thing right
Banks.
here? Do you see this thing right here?
I do.
All the gentlemen, I'll call them the gentlemen. Tyler Warren to Bears. Chalk, 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 chalk. Oh, rumor. Tyler Warren's going to New York. We're so in the weeds that there's talks of Colson Loveland, the tight end from Michigan, going to the Bears at 10. That's how in the weeds we are at.
Okay.
We-
I'll say Will Campbell.
I'm not making that pick if I have the chance. But
Is
I'm
this
just saying,
the
like
worst?
that's where we're at.
I don't know how, like, because I know Paulie just doesn't follow the draft hype as much as maybe me and Carl do, but we all live online so much. Is this the worst, like, lead up? There's been 3 extra weeks of draft hype. It's fucking horrible. Is this the worst, like, hyping, rehyping, all that stuff I've ever seen in my lifetime?
It is, and kind of a way to corroborate that is that there was just a record broken. This is the longest it has taken for first round draft compensation to be traded since the Chiefs traded for Joe Montana. That happened 5 days before the trade. We are now, or the draft. We are now 3 days away. No first round compensation has been moved.
Because everybody's in their own fucking
Interesting.
heads at this point. Every team is, like, so far in their own heads. They're like,
Well, the fact of the matter is, multiple sources. I first heard it from King Dane Brugler. Again, I'm the mouthpiece, the mouth of Dane Brugler. Picks 20 to 60, exactly the same. Why are we giving away a first-round pick on day 2? You know what I mean? That's what I think the rationale here is.
Can I just talk about this real quickly too? So I was on Aldo's show. Spur of the moment. I guess his guest canceled on him, so they just invited me on. And I went on there with them, and he had me and Tooch going back and
Don't
forth
discredit yourself, Paul.
about a scenario where the Bears trade up to pick 6 to draft Ashton Genty. And
Yeah,
Tooch's counter argument to me, one of the things he kept saying was, well, he's going to be the engine that drives Ben Johnson's offense. And I kept thinking about that after the show, and it's like, man, I love when people use like non-football stuff to describe football, like the engine that drives the offense. Like, dude, that's just such a general, like, little quote out there. But like, if Ben Johnson took this job and realized, holy shit, I need the engine that drives this offense, then we should be really fucking worried about Caleb Williams, because that should be the engine that drives this offense. And that's the reason why that guy took this job. And everything else should be just pieces to make that guy better and surround that guy with talent. And that's what Ashton Genty would be. But I mean, I would just go a different route with, offensive line, do 68 sacks last year. But I don't know. I just kind of wanted to mention that and say that I think that's it's a really cute analogy. I know David likes his analogies. He makes them all the time.
yeah, that one was
I
fucking dumb though. Because like that one that made no sense. Because any running back's gonna drive an offense if they're running for 1,200 fucking yards. I mean, that's just like that's the whole point. But like if you took that job, like you said, and your point was that you were dependent on Ashton Genty falling to 10, otherwise your offense doesn't have an engine, then that's a fucking problem. So like that's just not something that makes sense. Omarion Hampton can drive; it can be an engine just as well as Ashton Genty. I don't get it.
And then there was some comparison to like Walter Payton even and things like that. And I just want to, I know.
Oh, dude,
I
no.
just wanna-
You did not see it. So there's all those spam accounts. I call them spam accounts on Twitter that will say whatever the hell acronym football, right? It's like, I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but like ML football, some stupid bullshit, right? They bought other followers so that every single tweet they have gets 100,000 impressions. They said the floor for Ashton Genty was LaDainian Tomlinson, and the ceiling was Walter Payton.
So-
Fuck off.
So
It's just so stupid.
Hall of Fame, no matter what.
Man, it's
It's
just
so ridiculous.
it's so ridiculous. And like even in the last 20, 25 years, the running back position has changed so much drastically. But I just want to say, like, dude, back then it was just such a different game. Do you know how much linemen weighed back then? Like look up, dude. Yeah, like, for real, they didn't even crack 300. So like your body's taking, less of a
Wait,
beating.
really?
Because,
They were
yeah,
lighter?
dude. Yep.
Yeah,
So have you guys heard this spiel with Will Campbell? His short arms, he can't be tackled because of it.
Let me just finish. I'm just saying the
I'm
days
just
of
saying,
running
they
backs.
used to have longer arms.
The days of running backs like lasting in this league for a dozen years, producing constantly, are gone. Like those days are over. It doesn't happen anymore. Period. Yeah. Carl, go ahead. Name me names. Give it
All
to
I'll
me.
say, there is a path to where pick 10, Ashton Genty for the Bears would make sense. Obviously, I would consider that the doomsday scenario.
It is a possibility.
My philosophy is very, very simple. A little bit of bias, but pick 10. Draft Mason Graham if he's there. Draft Kenneth Grant if he's not. I think it's really simple.
And that's fine, Vizzo Joe. I mean, Tooch, we went at it for quite a while. So anybody that wants to check out that conversation, Tooch definitely had plenty of time to argue his point of view and whatnot. Like I said, I just wanted to kind of touch on that a little bit and just add a little more to it. But yeah, totally, he had his points as well that, some of them were valid. I just disagreed personally. So
Yeah. I think best thing to do is just get this shit started, no?
mock draft time.
Yeah.
Mock draft time.
Last order of business, I would say. I'm not clear if we're doing trades either, but we can maybe hash that in the moment. But we need to randomize who goes when. I think it should be a 1-2-3 situation. Maybe Paul 1, Davesky 2, me 3. But who wants to go first? Or do we want to find a way to randomize it?
I think
How do
just
we
in order
randomize it?
works fine. Paul, we can do like
Paul
a
one?
randomizer. Yeah, randomizer on your phone or online. But yeah, you just
Randomize
Paul
it.
one.
Actually,
it?
I'm doing the math in my head. I like Paul at
3
1.
numbers.
I like Paul at 1. I like Paul at 1. Nope. I want Paul at 1. I've decided.
Why?
Why? Because he gets to do Bears.
Yeah. Exactly. That's
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
I'll take it.
It's not my show, but
No, I'm down with randomizing it. I don't care.
Nah, fuck it. Let's have Paul do the
Okay,
Bears.
1, 2, okay, whatever. 1,
I
2, 3.
kind of
Then
want to end up on the Bears though. Hold on. So let me.
you okay? You want
randomize.
to do one, David?
Yep.
Hold on. Let me read off the teams as to how this would go, okay? Because number 1 is the Titans, right? So, Paul, the teams that you would get in this scenario: Titans, Patriots, Jets, Bears. Dave, you would get Browns, Jagoffs. Is that Panthers? Right?
Super shitty. Nice.
You would get 2, 5, 8.
Just randomize it, Dave.
I'm doing it.
No, we it's got to be in an order though. I'm
will.
just randomizing
Well,
who
I'll
goes
switch-
first.
No,
Let's
it
switch
will.
things around.
It's just we're
Yeah,
randomizing who's first.
Just do 1, 2, 3 in random order.
Here we go.
But Paul is 1, Dave is 2, Carl's 3.
Yes. What's the order?
Dave wins.
What?
I'm first. David, Carl, Paul.
Okay, let's do it.
David,
That was the random
Carl,
order. If that's
Paul. Boom.
yep.
And I've got my screen shared. Yep, that's how it goes. All right, Dave,
Cool.
you are on the clock. It sounds like.
So
Again, I'm approaching this from like if it was me,
Cam-
I don't know if I would do Cam Ward, but like as a Titans guy, but
Cam Ward, yeah.
But again, we're trying to make this list accurate because I got it written down, pencil to paper, and I'm going to compare it on Thursday. So, let's see how
Yeah,
many
they're
we get
taking
on
a
third, too.
quarterback. I mean,
I think it's just obvious. I don't think there's too much to think about. It's Cam Ward, right? So, justification wise, it makes sense. Everybody needs to, at pick number 1, do it. I think it's kind of wasteful because I just don't know if this team is going to be anywhere relevant in the next like 3 to 4 years while he's still on a rookie contract. And then if he's good, then they got to pay him and all that bullshit. So I think it's going to blow up in their face, but I get why they have to do it. So they're going to do it. And it's Cam Ward.
Okay.
yeah, I mean, even whatchamacallit on Washington showed that a quarterback can make a ton of difference, man.
Yeah.
You can.
Carl, can you zoom in a little bit on that?
I don't think I can. Does that help
Oh,
whatsoever?
yes.
Perfect.
That's
That's
good.
perfect.
I mean, it's cutting. Well,
right.
I can do this. No, this.
No,
this
I think
works
that
well.
looks good.
Okay, as long as you can see it, then perfect.
Yeah.
Carl,
Okay.
you're two.
So, if I was the Browns, I would take the best player in the draft. That is Abdul Carter. But I kind of want to expound on what David just said. You're building a new stadium soon if you're the Titans. Browns are in the same scenario. You got to sell tickets. I think Abdul Carter is the correct pick, but I think what does happen, I think they go Travis Hunter, and they actually overextend him and try and play him both ways. I don't know if that sounds plausible to you guys, or if you're okay with me making them pick. Obviously, you said I'm.
They
fine.
have Myles Garrett at the defensive end position. They drafted first overall already, and they haven't re-signed.
So if you want to maximize the value of that, you put the best player in the draft on the opposite side of him, right? Go get after the quarterback. You don't have a quarterback, so go get after the quarterback. That's what
I think
would
that makes
say.
your team the best. Like if you can come out of the draft with like Abdul Carter and then like Jackson,
The
Dart
best
in the second round or
quarterback
something.
available at 34. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like whatever. That would be a fucking slam dunk draft. But I, like you said, I don't think they're gonna do it. I think that part of it is gonna sell tickets and
Something stupid is going to happen, guys. I know it is. And
Yeah.
if that's the Browns taking Shador Sanders or Tyler Shaw, I would not be surprised in the slightest. But again, for this exercise, from what I think will happen, I would draft Travis Hunter. So the pick is in, Paul. You're on the clock
Travis
here with
Hunter
the
moves
Giants.
the needle.
Now, here's where I think.
By the way, if you want me to look at a position group, please just tell me.
Yeah, here's where I think the Giants, and I've thought this actually for quite a while. I think there's a very good chance that 3 quarterbacks go in the top 15 picks. And I just like, what are the Giants doing at quarterback position? So, like, I think Shador Sanders sticks out here. I do. If not, they're going with Abdul Carter. And so that's where I'm torn. It's like, do they sit there and reach in desperation like teams do every single year to grab a quarterback and draft him higher than he deserves to be drafted? I mean, it happens every single year, guys. So I'm going to actually kind of fall back on the panel here, and I want to see what both you guys think because I'm a little torn.
Quarterback situation for your Giants, Paul. Not that there's a lot of money tied up in this, but you did sign Russell Wilson and the former failed first overall pick. I can't think of his name. Jameis Winston.
Jameis.
So do you need a quarterback how we thought that they did months ago? No.
How often
they can afford to take the best player in the draft. I don't think Abdul Carter should have gone past 1. If the Giants see Abdul Carter available, I think they take him.
But it's like
I have an additional point to make here for like to help you with that decision. Yeah, I think it's Abdul Carter way more than Shador Sanders because of like 2 main reasons. I forget the name of the Giants GM, but he's like famous for having these fuck ups on camera right now with
Leaking
Hard
info.
Knocks and everything like that, and they're looking stupid, right? So he's definitely like looking stupid. He's got the video of his kid telling him he should pick, Jaden and all this shit. So he's like embarrassed, first of all. Second of all, I don't think he has I don't think if you draft Shador Sanders and you still have Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston, the odds of Shador starting this year is 10%, 15% probably, unless he just like blows everybody away at training camp. And at that point, Giants, that GM and Brian Dable don't live to see Shador's second and third year if they're not giving him that leash. So it's kind of pointless to take Shador, then have a shit season, you get fired, and now you're doing a Bears type situation with Shador, and it's an overdrafted pick, and you've got a Daniel Jones situation. The other part is the Giants, I think, learn from, if there's any team that might not reach for a quarterback because they learned their lesson, it's Daniel Jones and the Giants.
And that's fair. They have been in the past known to kind of beef up that defense and kind of be a more balanced type of team.
Come on,
So,
the best player
Abdul
in
Carter.
their history, arguably the best defensive player ever, Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah, right.
Talk about selling tickets in New York. That's what it is. Imagine a picture of Abdul Carter and Lawrence
So
Taylor
then,
just shaking hands. Like
The last question I have is, does anybody else feel like they need to trade up to this position no, probably not, right? Because if you
Let's
need a
look at the
quarterback,
board.
the
Let's look at
Patriots
the board.
don't, and
Who
the
needs a
Jaguars
quarterback?
don't.
Yeah, go on.
Right, the Raiders or the Jets. is where you fall to. So okay, yeah, no, should Abdul Carter is pick.
Pick is in, and I think that means Dave's on the clock with his head coach, Mike Vrabel.
Yeah. This is to me the honestly like the hardest one because it's going to move everything. I think if you are the Patriots, you probably need left tackles for the future. And in my head, I think Vrabel would probably go like Mason Graham or just like the dirtiest, nastiest motherfucker you could possibly take here.
Well,
But that's a Mike Vrabel thing, and Mike Vrabel does have a lot of drafting control to my knowledge. So I'm torn between like Mason Graham and just Will Campbell because I think Will Campbell had this weird draft trajectory arc where it was like he's a good left tackle, he's the best one in the draft. Now he's got 2 arms or short, and now it's kind of back to like what are we talking about? Like he's gonna be fine. So I defer to the panel, but those are my top 2 choices, which I feel like are chalk and easy, but it's Mason Graham and Will Campbell.
so I don't know what Paul has to say about it, but I've always said to you guys countless times and times again, Dave's on the money here. I do believe Vrabel. He believes in building the trenches. The Patriots traded away Joe Milton for a bag of chips. They are all in on Drake May, and I think that they want to protect him. And the personality that I see spewing out of Will Campbell, I would believe it if his name was Will Vrabel. The kid acts like that coach. I think this would be a slam dunk great pick for them.
Yeah, the whole Armand Membu thing got like overhyped and all that stuff. I think
No, they could do that if they wanted to be stupid, but again,
I think
look
you
at
go
the
left
tape
tackle.
versus the
He's only left
combine.
tackle.
Vrabel says tape.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Will Campbell's tape is fine, more than fine.
it's. Do you know who led New England in sacks?
Last year,
They
Yeah.
probably they have a really incredible defensive tackle that should be like an all
Christian
pro.
Barmore, but he's got blood
on
clots in his legs.
or he just plays on a bad team too, right? So like I think with the better coaching, they could probably elevate that defense with the exact same personnel.
Yeah, I believe it might be Harold Landry. at
No,
9
they just
sacks.
signed him. He's
Oh, they
a
just
fine
signed him,
player,
okay.
but he's not the player that I'm referring to.
So it's hard though because you did just take Drake May 2nd overall not too long ago, and
Right,
do
so you
need-
want to protect him.
you do need to protect him. At the same time, your defense wasn't very good.
I think
But
you can
yeah,
wait on defense and
I think tackle.
elevate
Yeah, I
defense.
think you're right, David. I think tackle is the way they would.
All right, I'm locking in for me because it's my call. Will Campbell. I was on the fence, but Mason Graham seemed like yeah. So
Does that mean I'm on the clock with the Jags at 5?
yes, sir.
Yes,
That's
sir.
Carl.
Again, talk about credibility, embarrassing myself. Wow. My dog's trying to stop me from saying something stupid.
Oh boy.
Just said embarrassing yourself, and your dog's like,
Just stop.
I'll do it for you.
I've always said there's going to be at least 2 tackles taken in the top 10. I think pick 5 is primed for either protecting the quarterback or finding a way to help the quarterback elsewhere. So I think it's down to 3 picks. I think it's Membu. I think it's Genty.
The
Or I
whole
think it's
top half
Tyler
of the
Warren.
screen. Can you like scroll down?
No, it's an
But
ad.
no,
I'm
oh.
blocking that ad, so that's why it does
Gotcha.
that. But I'm not allowed to scroll down past it. I can do that, but then it cuts it off, right? It's like embedded
Yeah,
in
that's
the
better a
website.
little bit, but okay.
Yeah, it's embedded in the website. I'm sorry. So, they wouldn't do something stupid and take Josh Simmons, I don't think. Oh,
No.
yeah. I'm neglecting that. I'm sorry. I do genuinely. I want to take my bias out of this. I do think that Mason Graham to them is chalk. Yeah, it's chalk. Do you guys have any issues with that?
My only issue is how much Liam Cohen is going to be in there in the ear, and like how much do they think it's a Trevor Lawrence redemption project? Because I think that there's
I
like
have
a
a
little
dark
bit
theory
more
on that too.
that he might be on the way out in a year or two.
The quarterback?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking is.
me too. I don't think they're that invested
Liam
in
Cohen
him.
can vouch for the best defensive player and arguably the best player in the draft. I don't think he is. Close. But if they say, yeah, I invested my 5th overall pick as a rookie head coach into the defense, and Trevor Lawrence isn't doing so good, and Liam Cohn heads on the top half or hot seat, he'll say, well, I need my quarterback. I don't know if they'll be lucky enough to get Arch Manning or something stupid, trade away that terrible contract for Lawrence, but I don't think you have to be locked into an offensive lineman just because you paid Trevor Lawrence, right? Yeah, Dudu Vol, Foster, I hope you're doing well, man. I don't know, man. I think Mason Graham to the Jaguars is chalk. I can't really see it going any other way.
I feel like it's like a 85, 90%. I agree with you, but that 10% just kind of screams at me like, are the Jags just going to do something splashy? But in terms of are we trying to get our list correct, I think Mason Graham's right.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If we're trying to be accurate, that looks like it would be accurate.
You can't predict stupid, and the Jags might just be
sure.
stupid, right?
Now, Dave, you're going to be handling stupid in New York, but right now it's Paul on the clock for the Raiders.
Well, I mean, it's almost like the same conversation I had with the Giants. Are you sitting here going, well, we need a quarterback? I would have the same conversation if I was the Jets. Me personally.
Well, so for the Raiders, they just extended Geno for now his contract lasts 4 years, I think, 3 or 4.
No, I think that they like just added money to the end of the years. I think it's 2027, 28. I can't remember what it is.
2 full seasons. I mean, unless you're sitting a Shadur Sanders on the bench for 2 years with a 6th overall pick, I think that's suicide.
And I could see them being interested in Genty too. Who's a running back over there?
No, they need a running back. It's just
Josh Jacobs just left.
Yeah, it's like, do you think that you can win now with this roster? My running joke is, if anything, they'll just default to Pete Carroll, who thinks he's in Seattle, has dementia. The old former Seattle quarterback. Let's get the running back who most resembles Marshawn Lynch in style, which is probably Ashton Genty. Not saying he'll end up as good or better or worse.
Is Membu like a crazy thing? Like their offensive line is terrible.
Yeah. So some guys holding out, but I've heard credible sources essentially say that there's no way that the Raiders take a tackle this early. Obviously, they don't need a tight end. So
the most recent interview I saw with the GM of the Raiders heavily implied that it's going to be Genty.
And that's kind of where I'm leaning towards as well, because if you look at the draft prospects after this, they might be looking at it as, hey, we have a chance here to still get a blue chip guy. We need a running back. It fits our needs at pick 6. And I think they're dumb enough to do it. So I'm going to say Genty.
Yeah, I think that gets your list the most correct potential.
Yep, I like it.
Can we just agree that a 6th overall pick on a running back, just in any, like, this is just me and Paulie's draft philosophy stuff. Like, are we kidding? Like the 6th overall pick on a 5'8" running back.
I mean, what's the opportunity cost? As long as the running back is above average, if he's as good as Jacobs was for them, there's a chance that it ends up kind of being like a wash. Like it wasn't worth it, but he's a good player for you regardless. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, Will Johnson's not projected to be like a top 5 corner in the NFL. He's like predicted.
There's some people that said that Will Johnson is the best cornerback in the entire draft, and they just got rid of some guy.
That's for sure. But I mean, in the sense of like like you said, opportunity cost. Like we're not looking at I don't know. Name me the last, like Patrick Surtain, right? Like you're not looking at somebody that foolproof.
A lot of people compare him to that. I don't, and there's some off the field stuff. I'm trying to put my bias aside, right? Like
no, I get it.
There's
if
4
anything,
Michigan
I prefer
players.
the idea of that though. I do prefer getting a top 5, top flight shutdown corner in the AFC West. Like that to me is much more appealing.
It should
Ashton
be chalk.
Genty. Yeah, Ashton Genty is not taking you over the top against the Chiefs or the Chargers here. Or the Broncos in this case.
I'm positive that if they take Genty, they'll say that the rationale is that they'll run the offense through him and they'll dominate the time of possession and keep Mahomes on the sideline, right? That's the rationale for it, but not saying that's the correct thing. I think it's Will Johnson's fault as to why he's not the slam dunk pick.
He's going to be the engine that drives Pete Carroll's offense.
I'm going to drive your engine.
I'm sorry.
AFC, yours on the clock with the Jets. Remember, if you're going to do something stupid, do it now. This is the team that'll be stupid.
Yeah.
No, Dave, you're on the clock,
Oh, it's me. Sorry.
right?
Sorry. Is there anybody named Richard in this draft? It'd be an automatic slam dunk in this fucking position.
Yeah,
No,
Daniel
not good
Richardson,
enough.
quarterback.
Yeah,
They
that might
need
be
one.
it.
Not to
They
be
just want to take somebody that's named Dick. I think we've talked about this, right? Every family member in the
Dick
Johnson
Smith.
family is an extension of a name Dick. It's like Woody, Richard.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's how crazy they are.
This is where we're at. Welcome to Bear Ski Film.
Yeah. I guess the chalk pick, if we're just going correct, is Armand Menbu, right? They're just going tackle because who was it? Tyron Smith just retired. You're looking for left tackle protection, whoever the fuck is there. Justin Fields. I mean, I guess you're gonna run the fuck out of the ball. If you got Justin Fields there, you shouldn't be throwing the ball 20 times
it makes
a game.
perfect sense. Membu is the athletic freak, right? 9.9 Raz. So pair that with the athletic freak quarterback. Maybe it's the match made in heaven. I doubt it.
Yeah, I just see the Jets doing something like this. Super. Ooh, Will Johnson. That's a good point, Romy. Johnson and Johnson. Yeah, I don't know with Sauce Gardner there and what they've done.
Well, hold
in
on.
terms of-
He
think
lost
he's on
his
the-
nickname Sauce. His name is Ahmed, and Ahmed is not good at football. He had one lucky season. He's screwed. So they do need a replacement in a roundabout way, but do they do it here at pick 7?
I think again, positional value stuff and all that is just Armand Membu. I'm gonna pencil that in. I think it's just too obvious.
Paul, I can't refute it. Good.
I can't argue against it either.
Goodbye.
I can't make a good case against it other than them just being
I spent
who
too
they
much
are.
time. Yeah.
And do they have to get pretty creative then if they keep having to name their family members after penises, right? Like I'm trying to think like Johnson, Willie,
What about
like,
that former?
how many Dick, Richard, like how many real names are there though? Like at some point you have to do what, Richard the Third? Like you just start repeating them, right? I mean, because what, I only got 4. Like how many can you think of?
Wow. Wow.
Eric,
Anyway,
erection.
Holy
I don't know if that. I don't know if that fits.
just
Carl,
oh my
you got
God.
anything?
All right, Carl's on the board.
I mean, I've got one,
Carl's
but
on the
I don't
clock.
have a name for it. So, Panthers on the clock here. This feels like one of the most likely picks to kind of get traded, either pick 8 or pick 9. I think the Panthers want a wide receiver. I just saw McShay say that he's heard prominent NFL GMs have a second-round grade on Ronald McDonald there from Arizona. So I don't think he's good enough. If you were ballsy, you'd take Luther Burden, but is it Tyler Warren here? I don't like the guy. I think he's a gadget guy. I think he's trash.
That's
So
what I was gonna say though. Do they need a
I-
tight end?
I think they need a lot of help in a lot of different areas. Thankfully, they finally have a good enough quarterback, so they got to figure this thing out fast. But I think it's Jalen Walker. I like Jalen Walker for these Panthers right now. I think that he's that versatile.
From what I've
kinda
seen,
weird
that
player.
they had the worst pressure rate of any team in the NFL. I think they're just screaming pass rush.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you're a team that needs a lot of help at a lot of different positions. You could get a player that's good at 2 positions. Play linebacker on first and second down, edge rusher on third down. Again, not how I'd use a player in the NFL. This two-way stuff is getting kind of silly. If you're not good at anything, you're not good at nothing. So I like Jalen Walker here. If you guys are okay with it, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I think he's the second best pass rusher in the draft. So yeah.
All right, Paul, it's your turn with the Saints. Are they going to go chalk? Or are they going to go quarterback?
Man, I get all the quarterback teams. I do think, like I said, 3 quarterbacks go in the top 15. I think this is where the second quarterback goes.
Is it Shador, or do you want to do the stupid?
I think it's Shador. What do you guys think?
I wouldn't be surprised. Talk about a bad move by a bad team. Absolutely.
I mean, they're going to
Yeah.
reach their desperate. Who else they got? What else are they
The
doing?
the problem here, I guess, is that they just had Ryan Ramczyk retire. So if you look at these tackles that are on the board, I mean, there's smoke with Calvin Banks shooting up. Do they roll the dice on Josh Simmons? I don't know,
I
bro.
don't think
but
so. I think
Calvin
at this
Banks,
spot,
look at the team
Shador
needs. It
is-
says offensive guard. I know they need a tackle because Ryan
they need a
Ramczyk retired.
quarterback, though, Carl.
They have one.
They have
He's just
2
going
on
to
the
be injured
roster.
all year, but they have one, and they have to pay him. So you got to set the floor.
I do like what
where
can
it's
I
been
can I
researched.
retread one pick back? Foster makes a great point. 11 linebackers on the roster.
I don't know if we
Well,
could do
Jalen
that,
Walker
Kevin.
should be an edge rusher, so
Yeah.
that's not a linebacker. I know
So-
outside edge is probably on that roster. Whatever.
I can
Whatever.
pretty much say Cliff Victoria, like I think they don't think much of Spencer Rattler. And then the thing with and here's how I look at the Saints situation. I think they're planning ahead to be bad for 2 to 3 years. So what position can you take that doesn't really get influenced by your team being bad for 2 to 3 years? Let the
Bingo.
guy develop,
Bingo.
and then you know that it's not going to matter for this year directly. But what can you do moving forward with that guy? So if you think Shedeur is sitting for a full fucking year, I don't see anybody drafting Shedeur to sit him for a full year. I just don't see that realistic. I don't know if Dion has much like patience for that. I think he thinks and Shedeur thinks he's like a starter in the NFL day one. So like left tackle, left guard sounds to me like a logical pick because you're just going to pop in your left tackle or your left guard. They're going to play for a year, get a lot of experience, and then next year you get to draft whoever the hell as a quarterback that you can. I think they're thinking ahead. They are not thinking one draft and that we need to get our quarterback now at 10. They plan on being in the top 10 the next few years.
And this stain from the Eagles trenches, all this stuff, that new head coach for them, the offensive coordinator who won the Super Bowl with the Eagles this past year, I think that he would bring that philosophy with him. It's just that the Saints are always a team that's in cap hell. They'll feel like they have to win. So if they don't have a quarterback, desperation takes over. But that's why I said the Panthers pick and the Saints pick feel primed to get traded away because they need so much. I don't know. But again, Paul's the one who's got to call the shot here.
I know these teams get desperate, man. I know they do. And they need a quarterback. You have the option to take the second quarterback in the draft at 9.
But if 0 quarterbacks have a first-round grade from the 2025 class when reflected against the 2024...
I can't name the best player on the New Orleans Saints right now.
Alvin Kamara. I think he's. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that.
Chris Olave, barely functioning mentally right now. Like, so I'm just saying, I don't think they. If you're that stupid and you think that you can compete in the NFC South this year as the Saints, I mean, it's a bad division. I get it, but you're not planning for this year. I just don't see it. So I get it. I do agree with Paul. Shedeur is not crazy to me. But I would believe more likely that the Steelers trade up to the Saints here and take Shedeur rather than the Saints themselves take him.
I mean, again, we don't have to go through the nuts and bolts. If that's the idea. Just make the trade.
Actually, yeah, I think this is a prime spot for a trade to happen. I'm done with that.
Paul. Okay.
Yeah.
So again, pick a team and propose a trade. So we're going to do the Steelers because we are operating as the Saints right now. Trade with the Saints.
I mean, I just put a team out there. I don't know if that's Paul's choice, but like.
No,
that makes sense.
Paul's philosophy is that there's going to be 3 quarterbacks in the top 15. So going the second quarterback at pick 9 kind of makes sense. If he thinks it's the Steelers.
So what do the Steelers give up to move that?
See, that's the problem. I don't know if we care about that. I mean, I can just propose this 21-9 because
that
we'll
works.
just knock it out.
Yep.
Cool. Cheers first or something.
I'm good. Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Also,
Here,
the Steelers are getting
we'll
desperate, man. Like you can't just sit here and wait
Looks
for
good.
fucking Aaron Rodgers, man. Like
just BS.
Yep.
Okay, it's chalk. It's done. Wait, yeah, 21 in the first. Yeah,
sure.
I hope you could force these trades.
That's what he's doing.
Okay.
Oh no, rejected.
Well, I guess if the nuts and bolts don't matter, just give him like 5 first-round picks.
Yeah, give him fucking everything.
We're just saying, in theory, this is what would more than likely happen.
What
Yeah.
the?
Pittsburgh would probably be like, no.
Well, no shit.
How come I can't do that? Is it like too
I don't
crazy?
Maybe.
Maybe it's rejecting it on New Orleans side.
Yeah. Fuck. So no trades?
I can't believe it. I'm all the teams. Is there a setting I missed?
Offer like this second and then like next year's
Yeah,
first or something.
Just do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
we got it. We got it. We figured it
Okay.
out. We're smarter than
and
the
then
computer.
they take Shador.
And they do take Shadur. That makes so much sense. So I do see Shadur going at 9,
Okay.
but this is where.
All right, guys. I got a couple questions for you guys. I think you're okay with that, and I hate to ask live, but are we okay with Nick joining us?
Yeah, please.
Of course.
Do we want Nick to make pick 10?
No.
Sure.
Okay, because it's Dave's on the clock.
I don't know. We're gonna rob Dave.
I will listen to Nick very heavily.
Okay.
I need to
let me
see where Nick's
if I can
at. I
figure
just
it out.
I don't know what Nick's thoughts are. He could say Will Johnson here. I'm not going to let that happen. I'm just saying.
Oh, he's not Michigan stained like I
How about
am.
depends on how long it takes Nick to join.
30 seconds. This is totally. I'm the bottleneck right now, so just bear with me.
All right, so I'll just talk it through. I don't know if we're waiting for Nick to talk it through, but like, I don't know how much like draft stuff you guys have been watching for the Bears specifically, and talks with, Ben Johnson, Ryan Poles. What are they thinking? Unfortunately, or fortunately, there he is. Throw him in here.
Quick with it. I'm quick with it. What's up, boys?
What's up, guy?
What's up, Nick?
How are you? Thanks for joining
Oh,
us.
good, man. Yeah, no problem. Wanted to be here.
So my thought process is I've heard way too much positive Braxton Jones and Kieran Amagaje talk to think that they're going to actually force a third left tackle here at 10, like the third best left tackle. I just don't see it happening. So that's my theory on it. And then have Nick go. And then I know who I think is going here, but let's see what Nick thinks.
All right. What I'm thinking. Now, I agree with you.
Nick, can I just walk you through the picks real quick?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's do that.
Cam Ward at 1.
Yep.
Travis Hunter at 2.
Okay.
Abdul Carter at 3.
Yep.
Will Campbell at 4.
All right.
Mason Graham at 5. Genty at 6. Bamboo at 7. Jalen Walker at 8. And the surprise move, the Saints traded back. Steelers came up and selected Shedeur Sanders. If there's a position group you want me to look at on the board, please let me know.
No, just go to the top players. So where I will agree with Dave here is the way Dan Ruchar has been talking about how he wants to see Amagaji with an offseason under his belt because he didn't have one last year because he was injured. Wants to see what Braxton Jones can do coming back from his injury. It's hard to see that they do go with a tackle. Now, I've been seeing a lot of smoke coming out saying that they are in love with Kelvin Banks, this, and that they did a private workout with him. I agree with you. I think they're too entrenched with both of their tackles, and especially with the development that they need to do with Amagaji, that they won't take another tackle. I don't know why you're looking at this running back because he's not going.
This is the only, these are the only players left on the board, Nick.
Yeah,
So
sure.
You have 2 options.
All right, go to the top players available. Don't like Will Johnson. I don't think I like Tet here because we don't need another wide receiver. We just drafted Rome 9th overall. He needs to kind of form into that 2, if not the number 1 role this season. I'm not as high on Tyler Warren as other people are. I don't
like
see the
fullbacks?
fit.
What's wrong with a fullback?
I don't see the fit with us, man. I don't see. We're not always going to be running 12 personnel every single play. You just paid Cole Kmet a bunch of money. Use the guy that we have. I don't like Tyler Warren here. Shamar Stewart's too much of a development to take at 10. He's got a lot that he needs to work on. And I just don't think we have the luxury right now of letting a guy sit at edge. I mean, yes, we did just sign Oyedingbo to a large contract. But I think we need somebody who can come in and start today. Fuck, man, it's tough with the players that are available. It's so tough to even go with somebody here. I mean, Nick Emenwari.
So hold on 1 second, because I don't know if Nick heard any of this. We are approaching this draft as our piece of paper, written everything down. We're trying to make as accurate as what we're going to see on Thursday. So this isn't about like what you truly believe, because
Right.
in my head right now, I want Kelvin Banks. But when you see number 10 pop up, what name are you going to more than likely see? That's kind of the approach we're coming from it. I would prefer personally like Kelvin Banks. Like I think that's just a good pick at 10.
And yeah,
Take the
he's
third
a-
tackle. Like that's just
Yeah.
like good. That's just good football management and stuff like
Of course,
that.
you're grabbing a guy who's going to sit for a year too, and who's going to learn.
Which is totally fine. And then
100%.
secondly, the trade option here is somebody that obsessed with Tyler Warren at this point, where if you're the Bears and you're like thinking like Nick is, that you're saying, I'll trade up for Tyler Warren like 6-7 spots. And like, what are the near, Carl, can you scroll down like 10, 11, 12? Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say who's
nearby?
The 49ers might even trade up for him. They're having contract
No.
disputes with George Kittle.
No.
No.
You don't think
Just-
so? All right.
No.
I don't see any of those three
If-
teams
If
moving.
No,
Tyler
yeah.
Warren makes it past the Jets, which is a big if for that stupid franchise, and
Correct.
Tyler Warren correctly falls past the Bears, I think he's got a free shot at the Colts at 14. And I don't
Yeah,
see
I
why
mean,
the
they
Colts
have
would
Mo
want to
Cox,
trade
and
up.
That's it.
So there'd have to be a team behind the Colts that have to want to come up to 10. What team here needs a tight end?
Scroll down.
None of them that bad.
The
guys.
Bengals aren't trading up for a
Falcons,
tight end.
Bengals,
No.
nope, they
None of
can't
them
trade
that
for
The
bad.
that.
Seahawks. Who do the Seahawks have? Noah Fant?
Another great Michigan tight end whose name is slipping my mind. They also don't need him.
The Bucks, I
You're
could
not
envision
trading
a
up for
seynario,
tight
but
end.
I just don't feel like they're doing it.
I think
Somebody
they're a little. in
Paulie,
love
I
with
think you're
Cade Otton.
I think the
underestimating.
Tyler Warren smoke is all bullshit as well. He's a gadget fullback. He's a slow Debo Samuel who's already fat.
He's
slow
not
and
as good as
fast.
Cole Kmet. He's not. I'm sorry.
As a pass catcher, in my opinion. He's just.
But if we're talking
ass.
that, then I'd take Colston Loveland over Tyler Warren.
Right, but
He's
we're
a
not
more
taking
complete
we're not
prospect.
taking Loveland at 10. That's just
No,
BS.
fucking no, we're not.
That's
No.
not
this
good
is
value.
Where,
That's
this is
not
where
smart.
you're stuck. So here's where again you're stuck here. I think you are. I really do. I think the
Yeah.
Bears are just going to be.
Yeah, this is kind of
pigeonholed
the
into taking
doomsday
somebody.
scenario. Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is, and
Yep.
unfortunately, like I said, me personally, I would want to see Kelvin Banks' name.
I like that.
I don't think that's the name you're going to see. I think more than likely, I think in my power rankings of what name you're gonna see here, 1, unfortunately, is Tyler Warren. 2 is Shamar Stewart. 3
Don't do it to me.
is I don't want it to happen, but I think those are your 3, like in order.
Who's the
most likely
third?
what you're gonna see is Kelvin Banks.
You don't think
I
Mike
think
Green's
he's-
on that list?
No, Shamar Stewart's on that list
No.
before Mike Green.
I don't even the Bears could probably take Mike Green in a trade down if like they traded down to the Broncos. If
Foster,
Hampton failed at 10.
if
What
this
about Darren
fucking
Hampton?
happens, Omarion Hampton, if that fucking happens, I'm gonna kill myself.
No, it's
No, we can't take
I
him
feel
back.
the exact same way about Shamar Stewart. Shamar
that's how I feel about Shamar.
before pick 39. I mean, my
Man.
stuff's gonna do a
And,
dance. I'm gonna cosplay as a dead
I mean, the
Joel
argument
from Last of Us 2.
The argument you can make for Shamar Stewart is that he wasn't asked to do a whole lot in that Texas A&M defense. They had Nick Scorton on the other edge.
It's bullshit.
I mean,
Texas
they had
A&M
Shamar
had the
Turner.
best ever recruiting class. They had like five star recruits on the defensive line.
Yeah, but they didn't
And they were
ask
ass.
him. He had a lot of pressures last year,
No,
Nah.
he
He-
had
or a lot
like,
of hurries. I'm thinking
comparable-
hurries. He had a lot of hurries.
There-
right, but
There's
like
one comparable player with this situation of Shamar Stewart right now that is actually successful in the NFL, and it's Daniil Hunter.
Yeah.
Daniil Hunter had
Yeah,
like
no
4
production.
or 5 sacks in like all of his college career, and then he got to the NFL and like kind of figured it out.
I mean, they're pretty close in measurables, aren't they? Because he's pretty much Myles Garrett. He's got Myles Garrett measurables.
Yeah.
let me tell you, I've seen Daniil Hunter in person, and
Yeah, he's.
I don't
insane.
care. I haven't seen Shamar Stewart in person, but you'd
Alright,
have to be
scroll-
some
scroll down.
specimen.
Scroll down the players available again.
This
that's why I
is
said I
doomsday.
think they're winding up with Will Campbell.
I
Who's
think Will
they?
Campbell is gone.
Will Campbell's
at
gone,
4.
dude.
Oh,
I
is
think he's
he?
gone at
Oh
4.
shit!
Yeah,
Yeah.
Will Campbell at 10. I'm buying the jersey stitched. I'm
Fuck.
Mhm.
doxing the guy and
Can
getting
I
shit
say-
signed. That's
Can
a
I say I
monster
would
pick.
my blue chipper here, and who I would rather see than all 3 guys I just named, I would be happy with Nicky Manwari.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. He.
I
Yeah.
don't know about that.
No, he's a. His measurables were stupid.
There's only one reason why you'd take Nick Amanwari at 10, and that's to prevent fucking Brian Flores from getting his nasty hands on him. And if
Or
I think
no,
that's
there's
chalk,
a
too.
second reason, because Jaquan Brisker's brain has been in a blender for 2
And
years.
Okay.
Kevin Byard is gone.
David,
Oh,
I'm kind of
Elijah
leaning
Hicks.
with you, Kelvin Banks.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have
There's
to agree with
smoke
you,
there.
Kevin Banks.
There's smoke there. It's Dave's choice, but
I have no fucking idea. My gut says to trade back and let some dumbass team trade for Tyler Warren.
Yeah, but who's
there
I
has to
think,
be a
like,
I don't
reason.
know.
I don't see a good reason on this board. The only thing that you could convince me of is Will Johnson. That's the only player I think.
But
that
I'm
you
not
can move
even
up for right
convinced there. We don't need Will Johnson.
here. No. That's not
No,
what I'm
he's
saying.
saying to trade up for.
Who's worth trading up? It takes 2 to tango, Nick. Like outside
Yeah,
of
The
no,
Will
Bears.
okay,
I
see
don't
what
think
you're
the
saying
Bears
now.
are willing
All
to
these
go
guys
down to
are
like
kinda-
the late 20s. I don't
All
think
right,
the Bears are
scroll
willing
scroll
to
down
do
the
that.
teams again. Sorry,
Colts,
Colts. Okay. Seahawks,
Broncos.
Bucks, Broncos.
There is a rat's
Do the
ass
Broncos
chance
trade up for
the
Tet?
Broncos go up. No, Tet's crap, dude.
Their wide receiver room. I don't know.
No, they need a wide receiver. I'm saying
I know.
Tutoria McMillan is the 50th best prospect in this draft, and he sucks. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I'm not gonna entertain this because it takes 2 to tango, and I don't think
Yeah.
anybody's trading up like
Right.
first future second rounders
No,
for a fucking
absolutely.
tight end.
I spot on
No.
agree.
So I'm gonna do it, and just what I think is gonna show up on the board. Fuck, is Ben Johnson that stupid? Is he not even stupid? But like,
Don't say it. No.
It's
I
no.
can't-
It's
I
dumb to
can't-
say,
I
but he's
can't
probably the
envision it.
safest pick. It's dumb
Not
to say,
even
but
with
No,
the only
Dave should
blue
do the
chip
safest
guy.
but with
pick.
who's available though, you're looking at the list of
Safest
who's
pick.
available.
Wait, when you say safest pick, Carl, are you saying I'm taking the
No, that's what I
correct
said.
answer, or am I taking the one that makes the most sense?
I think it's the one that makes the most
safest
sense.
overall is the offensive lineman.
I'm taking Kelvin Banks because
Yeah.
All right,
you still
all right.
also don't know if you're paying Joe Tooney. If Jonah Jackson sucks, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Like Kelvin Banks. I'm
Kelvin
doing
Banks
it.
could be an all-pro at guard.
That's what I'm saying. So like you future proof the rest of your
I
line
don't agree
across
with that
3
either.
positions.
How do you what?
Calvin Banks, I mean, he was put in a situation where he needed to help his team win a football game in the most crucial situation, and he shit his
All right,
fucking
you can't
diaper
but you can't
against
bank,
Ohio
you
State.
can't bank the prospect on
Yeah.
one game though. You can't grade him on one game.
It's a good sample size. I mean, when you're
He played
playing
a lot.
like
He played against a lot of SEC talent.
Louisiana Lafayette, I'm saying he's an okay player. I watched Texas beat
I
the
fucking-
fuck out of Michigan. Texas was loaded to the gills. That's a dynasty of a team. The fact
Can
that
I
they
s-
lost because of Calvin Banks, I don't know.
Real quick, just to reiterate my previous pick. Are we like at the point, not just because it's our team, are the Bears the wild cardist pick in the top 10? Like by
No.
far?
No,
I think yes because
Is it
of
the
where they're
Jets?
at.
the Jets.
The Jets, I agree. Like you don't know. It could be Tyler Warren. It could be anybody we just named. It
Could
could
be Tyler
Shadur.
Shaw.
All right. Like, but
They're
I'm just saying.
stupid. I'm trying to
I'm
tell
just
you,
saying,
no
I
one's
got
listening
to-
to me.
I got to 10 and I was like, logic. And then I just keep hearing Ben Johnson saying we need a X factor weapon player on the field. And I just don't know what he
I think-
means by that.
I think 60% of it has to be smoke. But I'd also say that the Raiders are probably a toss up there. They're in
think the
contract
Bears-
disputes with their tackle, Caleb McGarry, right? I think that's his name. The guy that they drafted a few years ago in the first round. I can't remember his fucking name.
What are we talking about?
The Raiders, their tackle. They're who wants a pay raise.
Colton Miller or
There
something?
you go,
They're-
Colton Miller. Yeah, their first round
He's
tackle
got
they
a C
drafted.
on his chest. They don't need a tackle. I promise you that. They do not need a tackle.
But they might need a guard. All right, whatever.
They need
San
a
Fran, I
center.
think, is pretty straightforward.
Another
We've got
joke.
San Fran. That's Carl.
Is it?
Yep.
Straightforward in the sense that best player available. I mean, I look at the 49ers and I think tackle or defensive tackle.
Is it?
I
Can I
didn't
argue
think
corner? Can I argue
I was
corner?
going to say Will Johnson.
I don't think that's
Travarius
struck by
Ward is
any-
aging on his way out. They have a Kella Witherspoon aging on his way out.
Their secondary just lost.
They just lost Talanoa Hufanga. They just
Yep.
lost Dre Greenlaw.
What you guys are actually making the case for me. I mean, you have to pay your quarterback.
What do you mean
have
for
a
you?
bad team. You have
Yeah.
to surround the quarterback and protect him.
You
Especially
just
once,
made the argument
once
for a defensive
Silverback
tackle.
retires, they've got nothing.
You just made the argument for a defensive tackle.
Right, because they
Why would you
literally
need a
only have
defensive
two
tackle
under
to protect your
contract.
quarterback?
Well, I'm saying they're not going to go outside cornerback, especially one with the question marks that Will
They can
Johnson
bargain
has, in
bin
my
shop on
opinion.
the defensive tackle as long as they got Nick Bosa on the edge. You don't need a show-stopping
No.
defensive tackle.
I don't know, man. They just got they started cutting Javon Hargrave and doing stupid stuff. I think that they
Because
need a
Javon
defensive
Hargrave was
tackle
ass last year.
and cost a lot of money. But
Yeah,
again,
exactly.
talk about bargain bin shopping, you need a starter in the draft. That's
So, Carl, you present your case and then we argue it because we're going backwards here.
that's the problem. If I'm looking at the players, tackles, I mean, they would be a team bad enough to make a swing on Josh Simmons. I just
They
don't
can
see
afford it.
This Gray Zabel shit is pissing me off. They're not going to do any of these guards. I don't think there is an offensive lineman at this point. I think that, talk about a doomsday scenario for the 49ers. I honestly would go back in time and trade with the 49ers one pick. Kind of a little bit of a Jalen Carter situation and have the 49ers move up to 10 to take Banks. Because I think that's Calvin Banks' floor.
Okay, so the question is, who would you take at 11 then? Because then you're putting yourself into a bigger hole.
Yeah, this team could definitely
You're
be
losing
the
out on all
Derek
the blue chip
Harmon,
prospects
Walter
at that
Nolan,
point.
Kenneth Grant situation, dude. Honestly, if they like Derek Harmon, and I'm hearing a lot of good things about him, I could definitely see him going to the 49ers at 11.
Okay.
I think
I
Walter
don't know.
Nolan maybe has a little bit of too much character concerns, and they would go the safer route, especially with a team that... I honestly... I don't know. I think that if you take a defensive tackle, they'll feel like they've got like the Michael Jordan one last dance in them. But if they take Will Johnson, it's kind of like, I'd call it a red flag. I don't know. They want the defensive
I don't know.
tackle.
I disagree, but this is your pick.
So if I said Derek Harmon, you guys are not going to yell at me? What does the chat say?
Oh.
They need one bad, they say?
Well, Clip Victoria, I don't know if this is new information, but Las Vegas Raiders just signed Raheem Mostert to a 1 year.
Oh, that was a while
$2.1
ago.
million deal. Oh,
That was a
okay.
while ago. Yeah, that's not gonna stop them from taking Genty though. You don't
No,
you don't
it
let
shouldn't.
Mostert stop you from taking that guy.
No, it shouldn't.
But I agree with them
Um,
too. They just lost Nate Hobbs. It is a possibility that Will Johnson goes to 6, but I don't know. I don't see that.
Also, we're totally forgetting some of these draft day moves. I think that there's going to be a lot
Yeah,
of players moved
of
in a
course.
draft with bad
Hendrickson's
players,
a
right?
big player to be moved.
Stop. If the 49ers want to win a Super Bowl, maybe they make the trade for Jalen Ramsey. Just saying.
I don't think they can afford him though. He's got a 19.
The
He's got
cap
19
is a
or $20
myth.
million hit.
The cap is bound by creativity alone. They can afford it. It's no problem.
Okay, you say so.
Boys, we're at pick 11 an hour in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm
Well,
surprised
now that
still
we're done
doing
with the
this after
Bears, it's over. Now that we're done with the Bears, it's over. I'm
Yeah, we
submitting
can move on.
defensive
We can-
tackle Derek Harmon unless
Okay.
someone tells me otherwise.
No, go ahead. It's your
Goodbye.
pick.
Right, it's
we gonna
it's
keep
Paul.
doing this? I thought once we make the Bears pick.
What?
No, we're
Oh,
going to
no,
keep
we're doing
going.
full first round.
Oh, okay, full first round. Okay. Anybody argue against Will Johnson here?
No, he's a safe pick here.
I think that's what happens to the Cowboys.
Don't they have two?
Guys, they
corners?
have Deron Bland and they're paying.
Javon Diggs is coming off a torn ACL.
Right, but they're still paying him. They're not taking it.
I
think
mean, they
Okay.
have to pay
they
Deron
would,
this year.
They would take shitty McMillan over Will Johnson.
This is a Tyler Warren spot.
Yeah.
Or I could see
They
Tyler
got
Warren.
Ferguson as well.
They
I
have Jake
really like
Ferguson.
wide receiver here, guys. If not running
Yeah,
back.
Matthew Golden. I
Yeah,
like Matthew
that's
Golden
a
here.
really good
Yeah.
shout.
Okay.
It's Paul's
Yeah.
pick, but Matthew Golden.
Put it in.
I think he could also be the best wide receiver in the draft. So
I think Luther Burden has the
that's my
I think-
favorite.
yeah.
He
I
gives
also
me reason
think-
for concern.
I think Jerry Jones has entered his Al Davis this guy's fast.
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
phase. So he's like
Yeah,
saw
that's
Matthew
something
Golden
you
run a
really have to
4.2,
consider with the
and he's
Cowboys.
just like fuck it, like
Old
yeah.
man dying.
I think he's just trying to
need
find
see
another
a Super Bowl.
worthy.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Golden's not that. He's a better player, but
Yeah.
anyway, I think do we want to throw Nick in
Oh.
here?
Up to you
Sure.
guys. This is your guys' thing. I don't care. Whatever you guys
Okay.
want to do.
If Nick just wants to be the voice, we can
I'll
stick
make
to
picks
that.
if you guys want me to make
Oh,
picks.
yeah,
I'm more
no,
than
Nick-
happy to.
Nick's involved. He's here.
Now this is the one where I think this is where Will Johnson goes. If I could
Yeah, this
offer
is
my
screaming
assistance.
obvious.
Yeah, this is Will Johnson. I found the
Next.
Dolphins. Will Johnson.
Next.
No issue.
Tyler Warren to the Colts, as we said.
Yep.
Anyone who's on the clock? I
Oh
don't even
my
know
god,
at this point.
that's mine. I'll take that easy all day.
Next. What's the yeah? Here.
This is Carl.
This is another very, very easy one.
I'm going edge here.
I'll let you guys decide which player it is, okay?
Oh, I know.
Do you take the athletic freak who sucks at football, or do you take the man who hits women? That's the question here
Can't go wrong either way.
for these dirty birds. I'm positive of it. Or hold on,
Georgia
Michael
connection.
Williams here. Yeah, are we okay with Michael Williams? Actually, I love
I
that.
like that.
I like
I
that.
love
Georgia
that.
connection.
There you go. There you go. All right. So is it Paul on the clock for the birds? Cardinals?
It is. I was thinking edge as well.
Now, Paul, I think the Cardinals need a wide receiver. No,
Mm,
I'm
Who
just
is
dangling
it?
the carrot. I'm just dangling the carrot. They just took Marvin
Yeah, they
Harrison,
just took
bro.
Marvin
They're
Harrison,
good. You're good.
yep.
You're good. You're good. You're good. What was the Bears pick? It was unfortunately Calvin Banks.
What about Sherman Stewart here?
Shamar Stewart? Yeah.
Sherman.
Or Shamar. Yeah, he's got beat, too.
Hey, that guy, the head coach is from the Eagles, right? He's is he the offensive coordinator for them or the defensive?
He was the defensive, Jonathan Gannon.
Yeah.
I think that this
Steichen
has
is the Colts.
This reeks of Shamar Stewart here.
Yeah,
It does.
yeah, I can
This
see that.
reeks. You guys like it?
It's something Howie Roseman would have done.
Cliff Victoria, I'll catch you guys later. Sorry to have offended you, Cliff. See you later. Shamar Stewart it is. This reeks of Shamar Stewart. Bengals, that's the team that also
Bengals, I'm going Mike
loved
Green.
Will Johnson.
I'm going Mike Green. You're gonna get rid of Hendrickson. Most likely, you're not paying him $30 million a year.
I was gonna say, is this where Hendrickson gets moved after they make this pick?
Yeah, I think the Bengals might try to trade back into the first round with Hendrickson.
Yeah, I actually love that. Mike Green, chalk.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Got those silly Seahawks with their terrible head coach who did a great
I
job.
think this is where
Man.
Tyler Booker goes,
Yeah, that makes sense.
or Tate Ratledge.
If you want to talk about stupid moves made by stupid organizations, could Gray Zabel go here to replace Connor
Sorry.
Williams?
Cliff, I thank you for the support. I mean, aren't we all just guessing? Isn't that
That's what everybody's doing. Even the analysts
I know.
are doing the
I'm
same
giving
thing.
Cliff a hard time, man. I've
Yeah.
spent how many hours have I spent with Cliff
We're
in
not
chat?
insiders. Yeah, no, we know. Cliff is cool.
I appreciate the
knows what
holiday,
we're
Cliff.
doing. Yeah, he knows what we're doing here. Yeah, let's chalk it into Tyler Booker. I think that's just simple. I do think Tet McMillan is on the board, really, realistically, just because like
Yeah, they just got rid of DK.
Hold
they,
on.
just- they got rid of everybody. But
Yeah,
Why is Tyler Booker the far and away easier pick two guys than Gray Zabel as far as just picking what could happen?
I believe he's
I
got more time
don't
under his
know.
belt, doesn't he? He's played more
I don't know.
football.
I don't like either of them as players. I just don't think
Correct.
that. I don't know. I think just chalk Tyler Booker, first offensive tackle on the board or offensive guard on the board.
The only issue is you
Ted
can make the case
McMillan.
for Zabel to play. He could play all 5 positions. That's the only case you can make for him to go.
That is one of my least favorite bullshit arguments in all of like the draft because it's just like saying 5 linemen can be drafted. Like you
Yeah,
draft
no, I
a
see what
kid
you're
from
saying.
college and he's 5 positions.
Yeah.
No fucking dude.
Is
Fucking
there-
Joe Tooney just tried that. He couldn't do it. Like what
Is
are we
He
there
did it
talking
at a pretty
about?
high
player-
level, though.
Is there a
He
player
got
we're at the
fucking
point?
roasted in the Super Bowl.
He
He's
didn't have
Joe
any help from
Tooney.
his guards.
He's Joe Tooney. You're talking about the best guard in football, and we're talking about sliding him up and down
Yeah,
the line,
no,
and
I
that's
agree.
Gray Zabel. Get the fuck out of here. They're playing him at guard. Like, I'm gonna say Tyler Booker just because the Seahawks are just chalk. I wouldn't think. Can I say my fucking out of left field? I think Nickem and Worry, I think, is actually the pick.
Yeah.
It's too late though.
I'm just saying. I think my actual think, if I whatever, it's the chalk pick. But I think Nickem and Worry because he would remind Mike, whatever his name is, the defensive coordinator turned coach. He would remind him.
Oh, Mike
of,
McDaniel of Ed Reed.
No, he would remind him of Kyle Hamilton,
Oh, Kyle Hampton. Yeah.
and he used him in Baltimore. So I think that's
Yeah.
going to be like
Yeah.
look what I did with Kyle Hamilton. That's what I'm going
Right.
to do with Nickem and Worry here.
Right. Yeah, I could see that. Can you argue that the Bucks take him to Worry here?
Nah.
They don't need him.
Or Jade Barron?
I think Jade Barron's probably
Jade
more
Barron
realistic.
is more of a who's that head coach? He's-
Todd Bowles.
Yeah, he's more of a Todd Bowles guy. I would
Okay.
like that kind of, but like
My
I don't
thing is
think-
with Nick Van Worry, you throw him in the slot or something too. Have him play, more than just safety.
it
I also
wouldn't
think
be
Jihad
slot.
Campbell is like super realistic.
Yeah.
Jihad Campbell, because
Yeah, they had that one kid who was a really high pick, and didn't he go to Pittsburgh? Who's a kid from LSU? I can't think of his name.
Talking about Leonard Fournette?
No, the
no, sorry.
linebacker. Because they still have Levante David, but his
LSU.
time on Earth is limited.
Are you talking about-
You talking about Patrick Queen?
yeah.
No,
He's from the Ravens,
no, not Patrick Queen. There was another one. I think I did get that mixed up from the school. But there was another
Yeah.
backer that they had who just fell off, and he's no longer with
don't-
them.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
Not Solomon
Ah.
Thomas. No, he's
Solomon Thomas went to
More
the
recent, yeah.
Niners, didn't he?
I can look.
yeah.
it up.
You're right. That was a while ago too.
Yeah, he's like a Number 2
Yeah.
pick or some shit.
When did they win the Super Bowl? 2020.
Yeah.
2020, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
linebacker.
I don't know. I don't
Not
want to.
Devin White. Not
I don't want to spend too much time on the rest
Cole
of these
Holcomb?
guys, but
No, why are you screaming at me?
I'm throwing
Oh,
names
just
out.
pick a guy.
hey, whatever you guys want, just pick one. I don't really care.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I would-
pick.
Do you think that they could go linebacker or defensive line?
I do.
Didn't they just take Kalijah Cansey?
Right, but
Yeah.
Vita Vea's gonna get. That's where my
Vita
mindset is.
got paid a couple years ago.
He's only
But
30.
he's old. Okay, so
Give
you
me-
make it seem like linebacker is going to become the more pressing need sooner.
I think it's Jade Barron or it's Jihad Campbell. So a slot corner,
I'll
Big
take,
Barron-
I'll take
corner,
Jihad Campbell.
nickel corner, or Jihad Campbell.
I'll take Jihad Campbell.
All right.
Okay. Best
Beautiful.
linebacker in the draft goes at 19. I think that the Broncos at 20
This
is
is where Tech goes.
That's a
chalk.
no. That's the most chalk Colston Loveland team.
No. They just signed Evan Ingram. They'll take Hampton
Okay.
here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think that they take Hampton. They maybe would have tried to trade up, but
I feel like didn't they just draft McLaughlin though?
it's a bad
And a
player.
Steam? Yeah, they're not great though. Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, I like Hampton here.
Here's another
Makes
surprise. If my mindset was
Ravion?
imprinted on all 32 NFL teams, I think that Tatoria McMillan falls to the Broncos in round 2. Anyway, pick
I don't
20,
know.
Omari and Hampton.
He's just not a good player.
No, McMillan sucks. The Saints traded back, so they could afford to take the best player on the board if that's McMillan, Loveland.
I like
What
Ted
the-
here.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, you have Olave who has a lot of concussion issues. Outside of that, you have Rashid Shaheed, and that's it. So, I mean, a big body guy that makes sense for the Saints.
Yeah, Ted
Against
McMillan.
my philosophy.
And especially if they go with the quarterback at some point in this draft with Tyler Schott, whatever the fuck his name is, or
Second round, maybe.
Well,
Tyler
Howard,
Shaw
Kyle
went 7th
McCord
overall,
later.
bro.
no, he didn't. So
He will.
I don't know.
Wait
I
a
think-
second. Is this Jackson Dart?
Ooh,
After a nasty trade down, yeah, and there's a little bit of a link there. I like it.
That's
Yeah.
Jackson Dart.
Force
I like
it.
it.
Force
I
it.
like it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Jackson.
You get
Dart.
just if you're a Saints fan, say that out loud. I got my starting quarterback after I traded down. I
Yeah,
think they'd
at
love
21. Yeah, instead
Yeah.
of taking Shadur, they
Yeah,
get
that
the
makes
same
sense.
guy at 21.
that. All right,
This is the most chalk Colston Loveland thing I've
Who,
ever
Yeah,
seen.
yeah.
who wants to make pick 23 for the Packers? I don't even know who is
You
on
could-
the clock at this point.
I think Barron's
Uh,
your pick, but
No, if he's still
I'm
there,
not
it's
giving him a
McMillan,
player.
It's not
I'll-
even
yeah.
close.
I'm only
Okay.
giving Amon Wari to the Vikings. That's chalk as well. So pick 24 is done, guys.
all right.
Pick 23.
Is
Yeah.
Ted McMillan
I don't.
that
I don't want
obvious?
to. Oh,
Do they finally draft a first-round wide receiver for their quarterback in the last 25 years?
if the Packers are a decently ran organization, they should be able to see through it. But that would be a.
But
big
they do
mistake.
always they go defensive every single time.
I saw a mock where Malachi Starks went, but I think Barron should have been off the board in that. I
I
don't
think
know.
this is
Yeah,
I think
I
this
mean,
is
this is
Barron's
Jahdae
perfect
Barron.
team.
Yeah, it's Jade Barron.
You're gonna lose Jair.
God, are you okay? So Barron
it.
to the Packers.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make this a short, real quick.
Nicky
Right.
Minwari.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Barron to the Packers, followed by Amon Wari to the Vikings.
Mhm.
I'll kill myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will.
He will haunt
Kill
us
myself.
for years.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ghost of vitality. I will take my life if this happens. That is depression in a picture.
Yeah.
That would suck.
This is Josh Simmons by a mile.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's bingo.
LA
Rams.
is Gray
This is where we
Zabel,
can get
probably.
stupid.
Yeah, Gray Zabel, I could.
Yeah, I like that as well.
I like Emeka Ibuka, but they would just get stupid after
They just signed Devontae Adams.
their star wide receiver, the
It's 3
third
against
best
1.
wide
Oh,
receiver in the
Gray
NFL,
Zabel.
Puka Nakua, is a ticking time bomb. He's going to retire in 4 years. Or 6
Mhm.
years,
I
whatever it
agree
is.
with
He's
that.
retiring at
Yeah.
30.
Yeah.
And again, we're talking about the best offensive mind in football outside of
But they
what
just
Chicago
invested
has.
so much in defense last draft, and
Yeah.
and so they're gonna. It's
I don't
either
think they go
Malachi
defensive line.
Starks. I think it's
I
either
think-
Malachi Starks or
I like Malachi Starks.
Gray Zabel.
I like. No, I don't like an edge rusher.
My argument for Zabel is they want to go after somebody who's going to protect Stafford for at least one more year and keep him from.
No
getting
one's
injured.
talking about Kenneth Grant. This is getting me excited, guys. This is getting me
Yeah.
fucking excited, but
Dude, 3 techs just.
Too
don't-
bad we're not
I'm sorry,
GMs.
Not 3
he's
techs,
not
like,
3 tech.
I know.
He could be a
I mean,
3 tech.
I know.
He could be.
Nose tackles just don't go like that.
Too bad we're not GMs though, Carl. 'Cause he's probably
Yeah,
gonna be
I
one.
know. I know, Dave. Right? Like that one guy, Aaron Donald. He was just too short, man. He just couldn't cut in the
Son of a
NFL.
bitch, I misspoke. 3 tech, I get it. 3 tech is different.
Nah, I'm just giving you a
Nose
hard time.
tackle. Nose tackle.
All right,
is
Landon
like
Jackson.
Jason Taylor.
Yeah, I
the
like
fuck
that. They
outta
would
here.
do a stupid tight end move too. No, I'm serious. Talk about
Harold Fanning.
God forbid Tyler Warren made it to Sean McVay. God forbid. That would be a nasty little pairing there. But
This has gone off the rails.
Yeah, let's just take
Absolutely.
Zabel.
Yeah.
Let's just go Zabel. Let's just
I like
go
it.
Zabel.
I like it. I like
Let's
it.
get through
Just
it.
get
I
through the
do
next
like
couple picks.
Yeah.
I do like it. Ravens. I'm hearing a lot of smoke with that.
Is it
idiot
Nick
from
Scorton?
Boston College. Yeah, Nick
Or Donovan
Scorton's
Ezraku?
good.
Yeah.
Ezraku or James Pierce, but James Pierce
James
feels
Pierce
like
is
he's actually a
Philadelphia.
little bit. Yeah,
Written all over him.
Yeah.
Written all over him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised Maltz or Nolan went here.
Yeah, they do need a big guy up front.
No, I like it. Rock with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Walter Nolan.
Yeah, Walter Nolan is the guy who has character concerns that are like soft.
But your
I was
next-
I
totally
actually
Nada.
think that James Pierce has bigger issues there, but I think
I
that
was
the
told
Ravens
there's going
can
to be a
fix
run
that.
on running backs.
Yeah.
No one wants to listen to me, Paul.
Detroit.
Here's your pass.
Two have gone in
Or-
the top 20.
Here's your Nick Scorton.
Yeah.
Put him across
Let's
from,
really think this over. Hold on.
We're gonna lose Paulie if we keep thinking these over.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
They just
Hold on.
they just paid Aleem McNeil. They're not taking Jalen Milrow, so let's go past that.
Why not? Tell
They
me why.
just paid Jared Goff a boatload of money.
They just had a
$1 million a
brain
year.
drain. You don't understand. Like they could get screwed fast.
Stop.
What's going on with their secondary though? I feel like they always need secondary.
They just drafted 2 corners back to back, Ennis Rakestraw and Terry
And
Arnold.
then got the guy from the Jets.
Yeah.
Terrion Arnold is a bust already.
They just got DJ Reed.
Yeah, DJ Reed's incredible. He's a fantastic player. Did
Dude,
they
they're
use
gonna
Carlton
take a
Davis?
pass rusher. Are you
Yeah.
fucking crazy?
It's Nick
They're gonna
Scorton or
take pass
Ezraku.
rusher.
Scourton is the more like slower, kind of beefier guy. I don't know. What
Which
do you guys
they
think?
need across from
Aiden Hutchinson.
The
yeah.
best edge
Aiden
in the
Hutchinson.
NFL. Smaller frame. It feels like they would.
No, I like
this guy.
Scourton.
Scourton.
yeah.
Okay.
I already have him written down. So
Nick drafted Nick. What a fucking surprise. Redskins. Running back.
Edge.
edge.
I think Ezraku goes here.
Offense, Running back. Travion Henderson, right?
Or wide receiver. They could go Abuka.
Yeah. Or
Little
if Ted
Ibuka
McMillan
with
falls
him.
as far
Ted,
as like,
you could make the argument for Tech because
Guys,
they have
no
the
one's
speedy and
listening
scary
to me.
Terry. What?
if he's
What are
still
we not
there,
listening?
Ted.
I bet there's one team in the NFL that has a higher grade on Bashul Tutton than they do on McMillan. I bet it. I bet it.
The Bears.
Take that. Move on.
Yeah, take that. Let's go.
Are you fucking serious? Whatever.
Because if
The
not,
Little
it's gonna be the
Bills.
It's gonna be a Mecca Buka.
The Little Bills.
Yeah, you need to
And
draft
Luther
Josh
Burden.
Allen some wide receiver help.
What if they trade away the running back?
They're not trading James Cook.
They're not.
He
trying
wants
to-
15 milli. They can't afford it.
They'll get him for 11.
He's gonna play
They
for one
need a
more year
tight
and then
end.
ask for 15.
I say that jokingly because they're tight end stuck in fantasy. So what did we say? A little Rebecca.
I almost
Okay.
like Luther Burden here. Okay,
Luther Burden.
Abuka works too.
Yeah.
I like Abuka. I think Burden's gonna end up being the better wide receiver out of the
I
group.
like
but-
Burden at pick 41. Anyway,
So do I.
Abuka.
Yeah, I like Abuka.
All right, this is chalk. It's tackle. It's Josh Connerly.
Josh
Or
Connerly,
sorry,
yeah.
you pick. You
Yeah.
guys pick.
I think Connolly's the more sought
Yep.
after.
Okay, and then obviously I think that we all
There's
agree that
your
the Eagles
James
are going
Pierce.
to load up on the edge. A guy who hits women, primed and ready to go to Philadelphia.
Him and Jalen Carter are gonna be best friends.
So what I have to do, I think, if I go to full results, is where this shows.
Screen grab.
I'm
Let me-
so
let me
afraid that
download
that
this.
top 10 is going to be exactly how we have it here. I'm so
Oh,
afraid of that too.
dude, this is such a fucking mess because this draft is such a fucking mess.
It's
Hopefully
because
Steven
there's
Adler
no
comes.
like clear cut blue chip guy outside of obviously Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, who are obviously not going to be available.
Travis Hunter isn't blue chip.
Okay. Anyways, and Ashton Genty, who some people have him there, some people don't, but it's tough because so many teams I've been seeing have different players in their top 5. There's no clear cut guy.
It's going to be the most fun draft to watch in a very long time.
Yeah.
Definitely, I think so too. Did you still want to do your numbers thing, David?
We should.
Not even the numbers thing, but that one trivia game. It's all Bears players. It's fucking funny.
Yeah, I'm down.
I think I'm.
We take turns, and then we can yell at each other for not remembering
No,
the name.
Yeah, I got like 15
correct.
minutes. Let's knock it out.
It's perfect.
Okay.
Carl, you want to load it up or?
Yeah, I can. What I was trying to do is show the full results. I mean, here, you should flash this. Did we see it for long enough? I'm trying to just get it to where it's legible.
I would be so proud if Ted McMillan fell that far because just he sucks.
Yeah, no one wants to listen to me on that guy. He's just.
I don't like him.
I saw a funny tweet. Someone said, if Tatoria McMillan's name was Larry Fitzgerald Jr., that would give him more credibility, whatever you want to say, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let me stop that and then go to the private chat where we've got this article, which is just, this is malware, by the way, but whatever, David.
You're welcome.
Rid of that.
It's hilarious.
I'm
Are
serious.
the Bears taking running back with
Jeez.
the second round picks or a third round pick?
What'd you say?
Second.
Second.
Travion Henderson's fine with me.
I don't know, man. I kind of like Judkins.
Yeah,
Me
I like,
too.
I like Judkins more for the Bears. All right, I think I'm sharing it. Are we going to start?
All right.
Play quiz?
All right,
Play
we'll go.
quiz.
We'll do the same thing. I'll go first.
Oh, it's
Carl
got a
second.
timer.
Is
Ollie
it player
third.
name?
Yeah.
There's a timer.
So this is Floyd. You type in Floyd. F-L-
I hope you're
oh no,
trolling.
I'm sorry. Jesus Christ, I couldn't see that.
I was
Not
being
Leonard
serious.
No. That's Robert Quinn.
Yeah.
Robert Quinn.
Floyd.
Oh, shit.
No.
I
All
know
right,
this one.
Is this me?
Carl's turn. Yeah,
I'm fucking fake based. I don't know who that
This
is.
is a good one. I know it.
I think I know it too.
He was actually. Is it
Is it
Henry
a-
Melton?
He went to play for the Raiders.
It's a B.
Yeah.
Bilal
B.
Nichols?
Yep.
There you go.
Oh my God, this guy can't type.
No, of course not.
All right, Paulie.
Who is that?
We have to skip.
Oh, easy
Oh,
one.
Jesus.
Easy
Ooh.
one.
Easy?
Is it?
Yeah.
Some might
Okay,
say
if
that
Nick's
he was.
got it, I'll swap with Nick.
Buster Screen.
Easy. You're a fucking psycho.
That one's easy.
I know that one too. Easy
That,
call.
one-
That
that
one's
one's
good.
easy.
Go
Paulie.
Haha, Clinton Dix.
corner. Oh,
Jesus Christ.
okay. I knew it was fucking numbers. Yeah. I don't know what they look like.
Yep,
Easy.
easy.
Oh,
Dave.
that's an easy one, Paulie. You can do
Nick,
this
you
one.
got to keep it in your pants, bro.
I'm sorry,
Adrian-
man. I'm sorry.
Adrian Amos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
VJJ.
Paulie,
Trash.
that's your
Is
easiest
Trash
one.
available?
Trash.
Yes.
Paul.
Charles Tillman.
Here we go.
Fuck.
Oh, that's
Jordan
an easy
Howard.
one. Oh, we got that one.
Yeah.
Herbert.
Herbert. Oh, Jordan Howard.
That's
This
a good
one
Cra-
is not easy,
Easy.
but I know it.
I like
The
it.
tight end. What's
Yeah.
his name?
Yep.
Came from the Super Bowl.
Eagles.
No,
Burton.
it's is it not
Trey Burton.
Dave's?
Yeah.
It's Trey Burton. Oh,
Who
Is
is
that,
that?
is that
Who
Rogan?
is that? Who
Is that
is
Rogan?
that? Oh, I know that one.
Oh, that's a fun one.
That's a legendary call.
salsa. Paul?
Paulie, you got it?
Oh, jeez.
It's actually
Salsa.
we have to name the guy in the back because this one's too easy.
I don't even know who the fuck that is. Victor Cruz.
Holy shit! I forgot he was even a bear.
So did I.
Nick,
Marty B.
I know.
Three.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
Marty
Martellus
B.
Bennett.
Dave.
The neck man himself.
Yeah, Mike Glennon.
Giraffe neck.
Oh.
Paul.
Hall of Famer.
Who's that? This is so bullshit when it does that. I know that one.
Ooh, fun one.
Oh, yeah.
What type of butter is he, Paul?
Paulie.
99.
What type of butter is he?
Absolute bust.
Jesus.
Is that shea butter?
Shea McClellan?
Yeah.
That's not how you spell it.
How the
I
fuck?
think
you
it's an
spell
I.
shea?
Just type in.
Yeah, there's an I.
Shay.
Lellin.
Oh, Jesus, Carl.
Oh my god.
I'm really
McClellan?
bad. Yeah, I don't know how to spell this
Can you
asshole's
just
name.
type in Shay?
MC. I don't think there's two C's.
Okay, just
Mick
try pressing enter.
McClellan.
No, we want the fucking points. How do you fucking look this guy up?
McClellan. McClellin.
CLELLIN.
Oh my
That's
god.
how you spell
Lellin.
it.
Jesus.
I'm in?
I'm looking at it.
Okay, all right.
Is that not the player?
No, that's who it is. If that's what it's coming up as, then do that.
Fucking
See?
hell.
Danny
Ooh,
Trevathan.
I got that one, Danny Trevathan.
Trevathan.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, my bad. Nope, there's an A, no E on the second one.
Is it my turn?
Oh.
Is it my
Yeah,
turn?
I got that one. Yep.
It's my turn.
Kyle Long.
No, it's white hair.
I know.
I think it's Paul's turn again.
Ollie.
Johnny Knox.
Yeah.
Nick.
That is Eddie Goldman, the man who's retired 5 times in his career.
Dave.
Oh,
I know that
White.
one. Ooh, it's Langford.
Langford,
yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that was
Legendary
tough.
Paul.
Oh, the
fucking,
hero.
The best.
Uh,
tight
Who
end
is
that
fucking
never was.
Crumplin and Clinklin? Stop.
What's his name? Jesus Christ. Tight end that broke his foot.
Yeah.
Leg. The bone
See.
popped out.
Was
a touchdown catch.
It starts with an M.
Z.
Yep.
MZ, yeah.
The
Fuck.
what? The what band?
ZM.
The Zach
ZM.
Miller band?
Zach Miller, yeah, there you go.
Fuck me.
My
Wow.
king. My glorious king. Terry Cohen.
You guys see the video
Go-
where his
COHEN.
Achilles exploded?
Yeah, I know. It's
Mhm.
the fingers.
That's crazy.
Oh, this is a legendary Pole.
Nick Kwiatkowski.
Yeah. The guy we should have resigned.
Ski? I'm
KWIA. KWIA.
Kwiatkowski.
KOWSKI.
What am I doing
Yep.
wrong, guys?
No, you had it.
I think Nick likes this game.
K.
KWIA.
That's what I said.
ATK.
Yep.
OW. That's that. Yep.
It's not.
Oh.
Yes, it is.
Well, the machine is not taking
Nick.
it.
No T. No T.
It's not Noah Sewell.
No. Wrong skin color. There's no T,
Right.
I don't think.
KWIA. Kwiat T.
Guys, I
Okay,
was
Koski.
referencing it. It's just totally scuffed. I'm looking at fucking Google search. Holy shit.
Oh, great game, Carl.
It's because I use a fucking ad blocker. I'll allow all the goddamn ads. Jeez.
We're running out of time here. Oh, gee,
We're starting from scratch.
Oh,
It's
no,
scuffed.
no.
Ah, fuck,
And
we're
now I
done.
get
We're done.
bombarded. I get bombarded.
done.
Look,
We're
fuck.
done.
All
All right.
done.
Yep. All right. Well,
Well,
we're
see you
gonna
guys
see in
next
3
year.
days how fucking stupid we are. So
Yeah, right. We'll see. So, anything else, boys? Are we good?
that's
I just
Could
hope
be a
that
good
Ashton
draft.
Genty falls.
it.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll happen, but
I don't
it's
think so
always
either, but-
possible.
I hope
No, hold
everybody
on.
likes
Let-
your new
do
Do the
logo.
Bears trade up with the
Can
Jags?
we? Can we?
No.
No trade ups. Can we look at this one last
Or
time?
Mason Graham?
Can we agree that if Ashton Genty naturally falls to 10, we're all fine with it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Based on this, let me share this one more time. I guess the Oh Jesus.
Did you guys see
The,
Maurice Jones-Drew?
No, he's not.
Smock?
Yeah,
Throw that
I
up.
do have to get going though. I
He
believe
is an asshole.
soon. So,
Throw
David,
it
you
up.
cool?
Throw it
You
up.
ended?
I want to go to the end of this.
Oh, man, Paul's got stuff to do.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Hey, he's got to fucking go, man.
Goodbye,
Just throw
everyone.
it up, Carl. Whatever.
No, I am.
I can leave.
Oh.
You guys got to throw it up
I
for
don't
me.
see it.
Oh, there you go.
Picks 1
There
through
you go.
9. Take out Genty. Fuck. Put Calvin Banks here, or put Shador. I don't know what you want to say. I think that if Ashton Genty is there at 10, and everyone else is exactly how it is, Genty at 10 makes sense.
I think Gentry at 10 makes
Sure.
sense.
If that's
pretty
what
much
you're
almost
looking at,
any way.
yeah.
Like
I mean,
Mason Graham, Will Campbell gone is
Those are the only
a
two players
nightmare
I take
scenario.
over him.
And Bamboo is gone. Yeah.
Not, I would very much be upset with Ben Johnson if he takes Membu and has any say in that happening. I would be very upset.
Membu would be the best player in this draft to replace Jonah Jagoff, who is the player I am most skeptical.
But I'm
on
not
the
drafting a
Chicago
guard
Bears
at 10, though. He's not Quentin Nelson.
Bro, look at the draft that fell. What's the opportunity cost? Derek Harmon? I'd rather have Kenneth Grant, admittedly, but from this exercise, it sounds like Grant will be there at 39,
well,
which that
we
will
gotta-
make me not saying that.
I'm not taking a guard top 10, though.
gotta wait and see, right?
Yep. Gonna be a good draft.
I'm not taking a
All
Hall of
right,
Famer
boys.
at
It'll be
10.
fun.
Doesn't matter.
Good night.
Later, boys.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.